Let's speak to Callum McGoldrick, researcher at the Taxpayers Alliance. Callum, good afternoon to you, sir.
Hello, Ian. Thank you for having me.
It's interesting. We crunched these numbers in various ways over the years. I thought the way that Jamie Jenkins has looked at this in the research that he did is a very powerful one. It's not mischief, it's not tabloid, it's genuine, nearly the equivalent of nearly taking the tax of nearly 600,000 people to pay for 32,000 people to be stuck in 210 hotels. That's the equivalent of the entire population of Manchester financing all of it.
Well, yeah, it's something that, particularly under this government, is going to feel like a massive kick in the teeth to every taxpayer. They seem to be going after every single cash grab they have, whether it's raising taxes on farmers, whether it's raising other inheritance taxes, whether it's trying to scrap them into fuel payment and then rapidly bring it back. It seems that they have a massive expenditure area here that's deeply unpopular that they don't seem to want to be tackling.
Well, is there an answer to this? Financially, when you look at the way taxpayers finance stuff, and we could be here all day making lists that would make most people weep, as you well know, Callum, because this is the sphere you are in. But this is particularly profound. The amounts of money, it's jaw-dropping, and clearly, looking at the direction of travel, those numbers are going to get bigger over the next few months.
It is. It's something that is obviously very difficult for a government to tackle. The last government failed with it too, and they seem to be taking quite different approaches. I think it's one that they have to be a bit bolder on. They have to accept that we've left the European Union now. Parliament is sovereign once again, and they do have the ability to pass laws on a simple majority of MPs. Keir Starmer and the Labour government have such a massive majority. If they really wanted to, they could solve this problem.
How do you think they could do that? Because, our last guest was saying, well, there's all these conventions and, you can't just send people back to Syria. I did suggest, well, maybe the definition of what a refugee is, or someone claiming to be a refugee, probably needs updating in the 21st century.
100%. That has to be part of it. I think the crux of the issue is that there's a catch-all approach, it seems, to how the laws are written, and it's something that is drastically outdated. As you said, a lot of these people we're finding are not coming from the most dangerous countries in the world. They're coming from poor countries, and they're economic migrants.
Even if you come from Iran, I mean, it's not a nice place. I wouldn't want to live there, but, we're not at war with Iran right now. It's never been, we're not exactly best mates, but nonetheless, it's not a shopping list, is it, looking for asylum? You can't just go, I think I'll go for that country over there. It doesn't work like that.
Well, exactly. An immigration policy has to benefit the country that is receiving the immigrants. That's what the population here would want, is what British people would want. And you think, yeah, sure, OK, as the example given in your last segment about the Syrian phone salesman, is that that's not exactly who we need. So, OK, Syria's not the nicest country to live in, but you're not, you're not in such danger as you would class as a refugee in most cases.
Yeah. And even if, Ivan Sampson, the immigration lawyer, Callum, said, 50 to 60% are given the green light, and we could explore that figure as well. But let's say, 40%, based on what he was suggesting, don't get given asylum. That doesn't mean, of course, they immediately get ejected from the country. They could be hanging around for years.
No, and we know that a lot of them abscond as well. The enforcement on it's not particularly great, as in you might get a letter from a court saying you have to show up on this date at this hearing. If you don't go, then, what mechanism is there to actually get these people? How do we even know where they are? It's not particularly clear how good we are even enforcing that.
Indeed. Callum, thank you for your time. Callum McGoldrick, researcher at the Taxpayers Alliance.